A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a pivotal moment for U.S. Ukraine relations, President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy met for the second time in 6 months in the Oval Office on Monday. This meeting came as a stark contrast to their previous encounter in February, which was fraught with tension and controversy. European leaders joined the discussions, showcasing a united front in support of Ukraine and expressing gratitude towards Trump for his ongoing efforts to mediate an end to the conflict that has gripped Ukraine for over 3 years. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, who attended the meeting, expressed his surprise and satisfaction with the outcome, stating, "I don't want to hide the fact that I wasn't sure it would go this way. But my expectations were not just met, they were exceeded." Despite the seemingly positive atmosphere, the meeting yielded little in terms of tangible progress on the critical issues that stand in the way of peace. Analysts suggest that the current deadlock may actually benefit Russian President Vladimir Putin, as his forces continue to advance, albeit slowly, in Ukraine. Gabrielius Landsbergis, a former Lithuanian foreign minister, remarked on the situation, saying, "Putin cannot get enough champagne or whatever he's drinking." NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte emphasized the need for detailed discussions, indicating that all parties must work diligently to hammer out the specifics of any potential agreements. Central to these discussions is Ukraine's desire for assurances that it can deter future aggression from Russia. President Zelenskyy has made it clear that a strong Ukrainian military, bolstered by Western support in terms of weapons and training, is essential for any peace deal. Additionally, European allies are advocating for the establishment of a multinational force that could provide backing for any peace agreement. A coalition of 30 countries, including various European nations, Japan, and Australia, has committed to supporting this initiative. However, the role of the United States in this coalition remains uncertain, with Trump indicating a willingness to provide protection but stopping short of deploying American troops, instead offering U.S. coordination. Russia has firmly rejected the idea of NATO troops in Ukraine, complicating the situation further. Prime Minister Keir Starmer of the UK and President Emmanuel Macron of France co-chaired an online meeting of coalition nations following the Oval Office discussions, aiming to refine proposals before a subsequent virtual meeting with Trump and European leaders. Throughout the meeting, the topic of a ceasefire was raised, with Ukraine and its European allies advocating for a halt to hostilities while negotiations progress. However, Putin has shown little interest in this proposal, as his forces continue to make incremental gains on the battlefield. Trump, who had previously warned of severe consequences for Russia should they refuse a ceasefire, shifted his focus during the meeting to a comprehensive peace deal, stating that a ceasefire was unnecessary. Yet, he later acknowledged that all of us would obviously prefer the immediate ceasefire while we work on a lasting peace. The stakes are high, as the extent of Ukrainian territory controlled by Russia will be a significant factor in any future negotiations. Zelenskyy has consistently highlighted the constitutional barriers preventing Ukraine from conceding territory, particularly in the Donbass region, which has been the epicenter of fierce fighting. Reports indicate that Putin is demanding that Ukraine relinquish control of the Donbass, an area that has been a focal point of Russian ambitions since the onset of the conflict. During the discussions, the possibility of Ukraine ceding occupied territory was not a point of focus, according to Rutte. Instead, he emphasized that such discussions are best left for direct negotiations between Zelenskyy and Putin. Zelenskyy has expressed a willingness to meet with Putin, even challenging him to direct talks, but the Russian leader has thus far dismissed such overtures, insisting that significant progress on an agreement must precede any face-to-face meeting. In a social media post, Trump indicated that he had initiated arrangements for a meeting between Zelenskyy and Putin, suggesting he would join the discussions afterward. However, following a phone call with the Russian leader, Putin's foreign affairs advisor provided no confirmation of any agreed-upon meetings, leaving many questions unanswered. European leaders remain hopeful that they can create a scenario in which Putin is compelled to engage with Zelenskyy, despite knowing that he is unlikely to agree to a meeting or allow Western troops into Ukraine. Janis Kluge from the German Institute for International and Security Affairs noted that Europeans are raising expectations as a strategy to corner Putin into a position where he must say no to Trump. As the conflict continues, the prospect of peace remains elusive. The territorial integrity of Ukraine is at stake, with the Donbass region, a historical and industrial hub, remaining a critical point of contention. For years, Putin has sought to reshape Ukraine's borders, and the ongoing war has only intensified these ambitions. With the situation evolving, the international community watches closely as the leaders navigate the complexities of diplomacy in hopes of achieving a lasting resolution to the conflict in Ukraine. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.